Hello Indie Game fans, weird lull in new releases this week, so you do have some time to catch up, but certainly more gems to be uncovered in this edition of Indie Gaming this week. We begin with Bloody Bunny the Game, a hack and slash action title which is a classic story of revenge. Cute but deadly is a common trope in games which is done nicely here, when the 3D platforming and action looks on point. It will be Switch exclusive for now, but I do have to give this Thai developer a special shoutout. I like shoot-'em-up titles, and a wonderfully vibrant entry is Tadpole Tales, where the art and soundtrack, at least from the trailer, looks to combine into quite the wonderful experience. It's about tadpoles cleaning up a river from pollution, so a nice environmental message as well, and for free, why not? I'm beginning to get a soft spot for hidden object titles, since it's a great podcast title where you can just zone out and rotate and search for things, with Out of Sight being of interest this week. You would definitely want to tune in to the lo-fi beats of this as you play, looking like a wonderful, relaxing experience. There have been quite a number of mechanic simulators over the years, having you working on cars, trucks, Mars rovers and mechs, so a natural extension of that concept is Sapper Defuse the Bomb Simulator, where you have to identify and defuse bombs in real time in order to save the city. Think Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, but single player and more mechanically complex, and you get the idea, looking to be a well-made entry in the space.
So, will your god bless me this time?
I'm a little skeptical on this one, and it might not quite fit the definition, but Pascal's Wager Definitive Edition is the enhanced port of a Souls-like RPG which was previously mobile only, hence my apprehension, and comes to us from a Chinese developer who might be not so indie. Mobile devices have come a long way, so hopefully this port feels like a proper third-person action RPG with some impressive visuals and good action. The name is based on the philosophical arguments of the same name and has to do with religion and faith, so some Bloodborne vibes for sure, and it did get good reviews on mobile, so perhaps one to check out. Just one bigger title of the week being Stronghold Warlords, the latest entry in a long-running franchise that dates back 20 years. Kind of cool how this technically independent company has continued to persist through the ages, with this entry exploring the East Asian setting rather than the early entries set around the Crusades. With this comes modern graphics and physics simulation, but since I did enjoy those games back in the day, I certainly have an eye on this. Smaller games and ports begins with the Switch release of Alchemist Simulator, a first-person title that has you running your own lab, purchasing ingredients, brewing potions and more, following up from a Steam release in October 2020, and of course, add one more to the counter.
Brigands descend upon the company and butcher most of the men. You are left in command now, and you order a hasty retreat to save what few men remain. Your employer promised riches to slay the brigand leader, so you hire a few farmers reeking of dung and urine and thrust spear and shield into their calloused hands.
One of the most impressive tactics title is Battle Brothers, a simple looking but strategically complex entry where you're in charge of a mercenary company in an open world, where it comes to Switch this week and will be sure to consume many hours of your life.
Win you the battle. Victorious, you take your pay to a larger city, expand your ranks, and acquire new steel and armor. You'll make this company known throughout the land. As you battle from the snowy north to the deserts in the south, your men gain experience, and you mold them into hardened mercenaries, each an expert for a different weapon. But as your ranks grow, so do your problems. One of your men, a drunkard, just lost his weapon. You have him flogged, so he never drinks again. But this leaves him bitter and frustrated. And then, a green-skin horde invades. As a tide of destruction sweeps over the land, there's good coin to be made for a mercenary company such as yours.
One of the more fascinating entries of the week is Blind Drive, an audio-only arcade action title, which I believe will not look like the trailer presented.
Johnny here.
Start driving.
What the hell? Wait, hey!
You have ears.
I hope you made life insurance!
It uses immersive and positional audio with a ridiculous crime comedy story that has you taking on mobsters, dolphins and your angry grandmother, with 2-button gameplay which I think has you switching lanes. There have been a number of such games recently, with only more to come, although it does seem that this looks to be the most well-made entry so far.
Oh shit. Oh shit! I hit someone!
It's blasting the more! Calculating. Asshole is lost.
Hey!
If you've been holding out for the non-Epic Games Store release of Bloodroots, congrats on your patience, because it is finally here. An absurd and violent action title which is a classic tale of revenge, build everything in the environment to dispatch your enemies in this murder ballet of a game. Touhou fans rejoice since GENSOU Skydrift comes to PlayStation 4 and 5 this week and is essentially a kart racer title starring the iconic characters, looking very weird but fun. Zombies may be overdone, but Heaven Dust gets ported to Xbox One this week, and based on Steam reviews, is certainly worth consideration. If you love warm, minimalist, narrative platformers like Thomas Was Alone, then Journey of the Broken Circle might be of interest, being a little bit existential, with visuals that remind me of Monument Valley or the Alto games, so it certainly seems wonderful and gets PlayStation and Xbox versions this week. I do have to give special mention to Mask Up, a tremendously weird roguelite platformer where you play as a slug mask thing, which is simply strange but could be of interest if you're into weird but interesting titles.
Thirsty for some great action? Abraca-boom!
NoReload Heroes was a chaotic top-down shooter that has up to 4 players working together to defeat an evil that you accidentally created, with the Enhanced Edition coming to Switch, including a new mode that's similar to King of the Hill.
Sim Sim Salablam!
Speaking of enhanced editions, Pinkman Plus is exactly that for the very N++ looking precision platformer that has you avoiding traps and hazards in order to get to the end of the level.
Ready. Set. Go.
Rated title, this version adds checkpoints, a speed run timer and new color palettes to check out. We also get the PS4 release of Star Renegades, an awesome pixel art roguelike RPG from last year which was one of my favourites, with this being the last modern platform yet to get a port. There have been some issues with the Switch version, where the developers have been giving updates on Twitter, so I will wait to see how stable this version is before picking it up. I do also have my eye on the Tenants free trial, a tycoon game where you're renovating houses and renting them out, having to deal with tenants and repairs as you seek the right balance in making this a profitable venture. If you're looking for fun multiplayer titles, the game of the week has to be Warshmallows, possibly a take on the Mario Wario version of the letter M, but looks like a chaotic, fast-paced competitive platformer that's fun with friends. Finally, I really like the look of Where Shadows Slumber, an adventure puzzle game that plays with light and shadow, a common mechanic in games but is used very nicely here, where you play as an old man who finds a mysterious lantern in the forest and perhaps has enough energy for one last journey. Reminds me a little bit of Creature in the Well from the aesthetics, so it does have my attention.
야, 그 얘기 들었어? 우리 학교에 귀신 나온다는 거.
그거 없어진 사람도 있대. 한밤중에 교실에 혼자 있으면.
에이, 설마.
Korean horror can be next level, and one which looks very creepy is Gwanmun High School, The Ghost Gate, a visual novel set in a high school where something evil is lurking in the halls. While we are perhaps more used to Japanese titles, this setting is similar but should have its nuanced cultural differences and is from a Korean team which deserves special mention.
I'd like to tell you I have a noble motive for doing this, but that would be a lie. This isn't for anyone but me. Scout took my life away, and I want it back. Tonight, it begins.
An interesting looking pixel art puzzle game is another badly named title in Chained, where you seek vengeance on an AI named Scout that caused our protagonist to lose his job.
Some small accounts and skim just a little. We want to make sure we can get in and out with no trouble first. Something isn't right here. Hey! I'll call the cops. Don't mess with me.
I seriously hope you hack faster than you walk.
That took me months to create. Get your hands off of it.
I don't think you can undo something like Scout.
It's a little meta and has a central type of puzzle focused around numbers, which I hope has enough depth to be interesting.
Sisters from the Eastern District, police say they are worried for their safety.
Just stay out of our way and we'll stay out of yours.
Monster taming fans rejoice. The long-awaited Cerulean Ultimate launches in early access, being the latest entry in the procedurally generated series that does have near infinite replayability. I'm a fan of this developer for carrying on the legacy of Dragon Warrior monsters into 2021, with the battle and overworld interface being quite similar, although its monster breeding system is different but of interest as well. There is a home base which you can upgrade, as well as a ton of customization and upgrade options for your creatures, not to mention endgame content and over 1,200 monsters, so talk about meat on the bone. It launches with the entire main story campaign, with more content, balance and polish to be done within the 6 months planned for early access, so if you do love this genre like me, a no-brainer title to pick up. The original Dead Edge from 2016 was tremendously well received, with its combination of turn-based RPG with permadeath, the zombie apocalypse setting and crafting and meta progression, with the sequel being a more refined version with expanded systems. This launches in 1.0, although the most common knock that I see on this is the graphics, which admittedly does look a little rough, but if you're a gameplay and systems first kind of person, this is recommended. More of the big picture, check out these awesome videos and I will see you after the jump.